Okay, so welcome to number two for qualities of extraordinary leaders. We've learned that extraordinary leaders make things happen. They step up, they see stuff, and they just got to do something about it. They can't leave things that need to be filled without filling them. So that's filling in the gap. The second quality of an extraordinary leader is extraordinary leaders. There's this sense about them that they care about you. Or let me say this a different way. Extraordinary leaders check their ego at the door. In other words, for an extraordinary leader, it's just not about them. They're not thinking about what you're worried about or if you like them or don't like them. They're not thinking about how this project is going to make them look. They're just not thinking about themselves. They've checked their ego at the door, and this shows up in a hundred small ways. But when an extraordinary leader who has this ability to check their ego at the door, when they see somebody else is better at something than they are, they're happy. They're thrilled to hand that off. They're not sort of insecure about that, wondering, wow, what if they do a better job than me? That'll make me look bad, or all these different things that it's insecurities that those awaken in us. Another thing it does is you feel like they can be trusted. You feel like they would do something for you over and above what would serve them best. That they're considering your interests and your heart and so on. When a leader checks their ego at the door, they will make sure that they prioritize people over task. So they actually care about the people that they're working with, and there is a project and there is a job that needs to get done and something that needs to move forward. But we're going to care about the people along the way. We're going to bring people along the way, again, because it's not about me. Leaders who check their ego at the door are able to apologize, right? Because they just go, I blew that. But that doesn't freak them out. That doesn't scare them. That doesn't make them think, oh, it's impossible. I can't have done something wrong. Oh no. So because their ego is put to the side, they will do what's in the interest of the people and what's in the interest actually of the organization or of the project ahead of themselves. And so there's just subtle ways that happens all the time. But if you just think about it, let me give you just a weird financial example. If you're budgeting for a given area and you're trying to do the very best thing for that area when it comes to the finances, think about your own finances. How would you handle your own finances? And if you get in a leadership position where you have finances to oversee and you're sort of careless with them, more so than you would be with your own finances, then you're probably not checking your ego at the door, right? You're probably thinking less about the organization, more about yourself. If you flip that around and you're like, ooh, I'm more careful with the organization's finances than I even would be with my own, you see, then you're considering somebody else. That would be one way to think about it. Anyway, the point is, and this is actually gets into Jesus's teaching, right? When Jesus talks to the disciples about their ambition, he's like, dudes, you're all about who's the greatest. And he says, actually, it's the servant. It's the one who is extending their leadership for the cause. And here's, I think the biggest challenge with this is that we're all mixed bags of motives. Okay. All of us have insecurities. All of us have desires to get ahead. All of us have things where we want to feel some sort of accolade or some kind of glory. And we have to wrestle with that and contend with that. But the more you're able to check your ego at the door, the more you're able to be about the people and about the organization, the project, whatever it is you're leading, whatever it is you're influencing, the more you are not just a status quo leader. Okay. You can be a status quo leader and still have some ego. You can be a status quo leader and still be about your own ambitions, at least for some seasons. But extraordinary leaders, those who get amazing things accomplished and make really significant differences in people's lives, those are the ones who know how to check their ego at the door. Second quality. We're going to go on, though. We got 5 more to go, and these are real fantastic, real important. So work on quality 2, work on checking your ego at the door.